Alright, this is going to be the last trailer video for a while, I promise. I broke it. I didn't break it, it just broke. What happens is, it should look like that, with the suspension connected with the swing arm to the trailer. And this is what I've got. So, obviously this bracket up here is broke. So I bent this piece of metal. Just gonna stick that up there, weld it in. Shouldn't take more than about 20 minutes to be completely finished. So I'll show you when I'm done. Alright, as you can see, when it adjusts, got it all welded up. I know it looks like shit, but just like the brackets in the back I welded, it's gonna work. I welded both sides, obviously, so it ain't going nowhere. And as you can see, it's pretty solid. So, I think I'm done. Till the next thing breaks. You know what? You guys want to see what else I do? Come with me. Don't mind the concrete floor. I just needed some contrast. It's the only bright colored thing I have in the garage here. But this is what I do. Make knives. This one here, I sort of fucked up when I was heat treating it. If you look down the length of the blade, you can't really see it now. You know, I'll turn it this way. It's probably more noticeable this way. You can see a slight wave-like pattern there. What happened was, I tried a new heat treating technique that I'd heard about. There's all sorts of smudges. Hold on. Okay, I tried a new heat treating technique that I'd heard about, and instead of hardening the blade, it caused the blade to expand and contract weird, and it actually made this cutting edge. Here, I'll show you. It actually, one-handed. Look at that. It actually started to ripple the cutting edge on the way down, and so I'm not going to be doing that again. The biggest one you can see, if you look, and I'll show you there. You see right there, right in there, how the light's different. I tried to fix that ripple just a little bit, and I did get most of it out, but that was one of the really big spots that had a ripple in it, and there's no way I can get that out without taking off a lot of the blade. But since I'd already fucked it up, I figured I'd try something new. I blackened the blade, which is a standard thing I do. It prevents rust, and it's just it's a cool look in my opinion. But I blackened the handle, which is something I'd never done before. It didn't turn out quite as I'd like it to. I liked it to. You can see there's two pins there. They go all the way through. They are actually brass, and I'd hoped I'd be able to see them, but I had to touch it up a little bit. You can see it looks kind of crap. But I don't think I'll be doing that again. And yeah, that's what I do. I do metal work. If you go back and look at some of my earlier videos, you can see that I do all sorts of stuff. You know, let me show you something else. Need to find something to contrast it on. Here. The trusty UV glove. UV glove, if you want to send me stuff, I'm up for that. I make these little knives. Most of them don't have this slit in them. That's just something I put in my personal knife. And if you look close, you can see that I've sort of ground this down in the middle here. I had intended to put a handle on it, but I never got around to it. And I think it actually looks better just like that. But they all have the cutting edge on them. This one's really haggard because I use it all the time for different stuff. And on the tip, they have a pry bar type end. It's not sharp. I know it's really hard to see on this camera, but it's not sharp to the point where it can cut. This, however, will slice you in half. What else do I have around here that I can show you? This is one of the very first knives I've ever made. It was just a practice, so I didn't sell it. But it didn't turn out too bad. This is how the handle on this one was originally, before I blackened it. It was that same color and the same pins. And blade is not mirror finish, but as you can see, it's not bad. That's just regular sanding. I haven't polished it at all. But that's one of the very first ones I made. I also do sheaths. This is a small sheath for a knife that's very similar in size to this one. I made it for a friend. It's actually got a rounded head on it. It's not pointed. You know what? I'm not sure where it is. You can see my bench is a gigantic, huge mess. I think it's inside, actually. I'll show you if I can find it. But it's got a rounded head, and I put a little bit of a handle on it with some rope. Looks pretty good, actually. Wasn't meant to be anything special. But I make sheaths for my knives. Have a little bit of stock left. I use O1 steel, if you're into that sort of thing. And you can see it's a little bit shorter than the knife I currently have. I'm going to make something very similar to that one, but I'm going to do the tried and true hardening method that I've been using. And if we look up here to my stock, I have this material, which is what I made that smaller knife out of. And I'm going to make a knife for a friend of mine who wants something that she can keep in her purse. She used to carry mace, but apparently she got in trouble for that one. So she wants a small blade that she can keep in her purse. And I'm going to make it in a very similar style to this one with the blackened blade, but I'm going to use a standard wood handle. And it's going to be probably about 6 inches long. Actually, no, the handle will probably be about 4 inches long, and the blade will be about 3 inches long. I don't want it to be able to kill someone, but I mean, who's going to attack somebody that's holding a knife? A lot of people, but you know what I mean. For those interested, I mean, I have a eBay store. Not an eBay store, but I have an eBay account, and I do sell occasionally. Actually, that same friend who wants the knife has talked me into making a dog dish bench table kind of thing. It's going to end up being roughly this tall, maybe a little bit taller. But for like labs and stuff, and she's saying maybe she could pass it along to some of her friends because she knows some breeders and stuff. But it sounds like a good idea to me. Just got to get around to making it. But that's a quick tour of what I do. If you'd like to check out my stuff on eBay, I mean, I don't have much up there now, but I will in the near future. I'll put a link in the bar down there. And I don't know, if you want anything made, anything custom made, I can do that for you. That's not a problem. Just send me a message on Facebook, or not Facebook, YouTube, or you've probably been looking right up my nose this whole time. Yeah, send me a message on YouTube or Twitter. I always put my Twitter in the bar down below. So feel free to message me. I am more likely to respond on YouTube. I don't tend to get messages on Twitter for some reason. They don't send me notifications about that, and I don't check it very often. But yeah, I'm rambling, and I'm going to shut up now. Have a good day.